It's about 7 o'clock in the evening and we're just starting the Cape Wrath Trail. I'm camped above Sandwood Bay and it's a beautiful, beautiful evening. It's absolutely fantastic. So I decided I'd get the bus up to Kinloch and walk the 8 miles up to Sandwood, camp here for the night and then start from here. For me, it feels like a good place to start. I'm not that fussed about going on to Cape Wrath and starting from there. The reason why I want to start from here is that when I was about 15, my mum and dad had this book about big walks, and I always remember this photo in it of Sandwood Bay, and kind of really made me think that it must be a really special place, which it is. And so it's the first time I've ever been here and it's absolutely glorious, so it's sort of a fitting place to start my journey south. It's day 3, morning. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Absolutely beautiful day again today. Yesterday was fantastic. At the moment I'm walking along a couple of lochs to the south of Reconic. So today probably getting near Kylestrom, maybe a bit further. We'll see how it goes. It's amazing weather and we've still got this brilliant wind. So it is now July and there's no midges. It's fantastic. It's another amazingly, wonderfully beautiful day. It's very hot though. Still got this great breeze, which means as we're crossing over this bog there's no midges, which is great. That's a hill called Ben Stack up behind me. Yeah, having a really good day today. It's really nice. Yesterday was quite hard. I found yesterday, I think it was one of those days where it's the first day of the walk, and those of you that do this sort of thing will know probably that first day always seems a bit weird and a bit nervous on the first day, and you're oversensitive to any sort of aches and pains in your body and worrying everything's going to be okay. So it was a bit like that yesterday. Today getting into the way of things and it feels like a really good day. Hi, guess what? There's no wind today, so I think it might be hard going if it's like this. So, lovely place to camp, as you can see by this loch. Today I've walked from about a couple of miles short of Skew over to, I think I'm about 2 miles away from Inchin Dam for something like that. It's a really hard day, actually, feeling really tired. Went past this enormous waterfall. I think I'll have to check it out because I think it might be Scotland's highest waterfall, maybe. Really, really impressive. And came over this Bealach at the end of the day that was about 650 metres or something, and yeah, it's hard work. I'm finding it hard at the moment. I think what I forget from doing this before is that any bit that's pathless, often it feels like walking through sort of foot deep snow because you're having to pick your feet up really high out of the bog and the heather, and that's hard work with a big pack on. So I think I need a good rest tonight. Hi. I think I probably look a bit puffy and horrible because it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. I think I've been up since about 3:30. One of the things I get, like when I'm going off walking, is I tend to go to sleep about 8 o'clock at night and then wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So probably looking a bit horrible, but yeah, I spent the night in this bothy last night, Knockdamp bothy, which is between Oikel Bridge and Inverleil. Yeah, it's alright, had quite a good sleep, didn't have to put my tent up, so that was brilliant. Yeah, yesterday, stopped at Oikel Bridge at the hotel. There's nothing there apart from the hotel. And it was fantastic because I had 2 bar lunches. I was so hungry, I just ordered 2 massive lunches. Never done that before. It was great. It was really good to map over. And I got a new game last night, which was really good. Kept me amused for about an hour, called Hunt the Tick. It was fantastic. I managed to get, I think it was 8. Got 8 ticks. The most difficult one to get out actually was between 2 of the fingers of my right hand, because I had to use the left hand on my tweezers, so that was a bit tricky. My body is itching like mad because I've got a combination of being covered in midgie bites, horsefly bites and tick bites and I must look an absolute state. Like, my whole body is covered in red lumps and red dots that I can't stop itching. But definitely bring tick tweezers with you if you come here. Hello, it's one of those wet, damp, misty days today. That up there is Ancella, I think. Or is it that way? Who knows? Yesterday I had some amazing rain. Amazing, not in a good way. Absolutely lashed it down, like massive summer type storms, rain. But one of the really good bits about it is when the rain stopped and I was quite tired and I was listening to some music and I was just coming up over the hill. Just this fantastic bit of music, Stone Roses, Fool's Gold. Just as that kicked in, you got this incredible view suddenly appeared of Ancella, the clouds sort of boiling out of the cliffs. And even though, apart from the rain and the bad weather, it's probably the best single moment, I think, of the walk so far. Was just seeing this iconic mountain with perfect music, and it just kind of came together. It was brilliant. Had a really good day today. It's been really nice. I'm sitting in the tent in the middle of what's called Fisherfield Forest, which is, I think, probably the second most wildernessy place in Scotland behind Knoydart. Camped right next to Loch and Nid, I think it's called. It's beautiful. It's really nice. Be great if the weather was clear, because you can't see any of the big enormous mountains that are all around, but it doesn't really matter actually, because it just makes you think, yeah, I'll come back another time and see it in all its glory. But it's a really nice spot. I've had a great day because set up camp at about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So I actually only walked for about 6 hours today and took it easy, and it's almost felt like a day off. Felt like a rest day. It was really good. I feel really happy about it. Yeah, I'm staring out as I'm talking. I'm staring out, looking at the loch out the front of my tent. It's a wonderful place, really relaxed. Hi, I've just put the tent up here. We're at the back of the north side of Bealach, and I've been wanting to camp here since I was a kid. Bit of a shame about the weather, but maybe it'll clear up in the morning. This is proper mountain wilderness. There is nowhere to pitch the tent. Anything grassy is complete bog. So if you come over and have a look, what we're camping on is basically, it's like camping on gravel. So put down all the massive stones to hold down the pegs. Fingers crossed, hopefully we have a good night. But what I'm really desperate for is to wake up in the morning, the cloud lifts, and we're in the best mountain place in Scotland. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see if we get there. Hi, cloud is slowly clearing, so I'm broken camp and making my way across all this really rough landscape, which is really hard work, but it doesn't matter. I'm feeling like going slow today and taking my time, and it is slowly beginning to clear, which is brilliant, and we're going to get to see, hopefully, what this place is all about. If we have a look up there, we can see Bealach, I think it's pronounced. And then up here in the mist, up there is Strathcarron Bay. What a place. Hi. One of the things that makes this area around here so special for me is this stuff. My favourite rock in the world, which might sound a bit odd unless you're into geology, which I am. This is Torridonian sandstone, 800 million years old, really famous. It's my favourite rock. Still skirting around the slopes of the north slopes of Bealach. So up above in the mist there is, I hope anyway, is Strathcarron, which is one of the main peaks of Bealach. It's a bit of a challenge in terms of it's quite hard going, because obviously there's no path, and in this kind of weather you obviously got to be really careful with navigation. So walking along now, skirting very steep slope above me, what I'm looking for is quite a big river that comes down from the main Croise, and we'll follow that river up, and then it will join onto the main path that goes in. There's a few reasons why I wanted to come this way. One of which is that 35 years ago, when I was a student, I was doing a degree, I did a degree in geology, and as part of that degree you had to do a 6-week long mapping project, a geological mapping project of anywhere you want in the world. And I came here, and so I mapped for 6 weeks 15 square kilometres of Bealach, and a lot of this area I would just walk over all summer in exactly this weather, and it's quite a sort of flashback in time doing this, and I wanted to come through just to remember it again, really. And in a way I'm actually quite happy that the weather's a bit rubbish, because this is what it was like for 6 weeks. I think I saw Ben A twice in 6 weeks 35 years ago. But it's such a beautiful isolated place. It's fantastic. There's ever such a slight break in the mist, so I can see that I'm in the right place, because this is the steep hillside coming down from the side of Rudstack Moor, and that's where I need to traverse around to find the river coming down. So mist is just starting to rise a bit. I don't know whether it's just going to be for a few minutes or if this is the end and it's going to be a clear day. We'll wait and see. But I'm going to take the camera around and just show you a sort of an all-around view of where we are. And this is why I love Torridon. It's just brilliant. So if we have a look what we're getting, places that you come to and you just think, what a privilege, how lucky am how lucky am I to have, I suppose, learnt the skills, got the confidence, done things in my past that's meant that I can come to somewhere like this and experience this. This is amazing. Hey, so just about finished the walk, walking down the hill towards Strathcarron. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and put the two bits together, the bit that I did in October and this bit. That's me walk the Cape Wrath Trail, which I'm really pleased about. I'm really chuffed with myself. How did I find it? Well, I deliberately tried to be really independent on this walk, so kept away from going to shops or anything like that. So I took with me 11 days of food, and that is a lot. That is a lot to carry. It's too much, really. It was good to have that independence, but it was hard work. Ooh. Yeah, it was really hard work carrying that amount of weight. So first 3 or 4 days of the walk I found pretty hard, but that could have been because of the weight I was carrying. Could have been because it's not as fit as I could have been when I started the walk. Could have been because the weather was really hot on the first 3 or 4 days. That didn't help. Could have been because there was a lot of off-path walking. But I mean, although it was hard, it was good. I enjoyed it. But I think I found after about day 4, when I sort of got my head back into things and got into what I was doing, I really enjoyed it. It went really well. If you're watching this because you've done the Cape Wrath Trail, I think you'll relate to this. If you're watching this because you're thinking about it, I think I'd say do not underestimate the cross-country parts, the bits where there is no path. And what I find for me is that if I'm walking things like the West Highland Way or something like that, I can quite happily walk 20 plus miles a day, not a problem. With the Cape Wrath Trail, once you start going off path, you're going down to about 1 mile an hour. And there are days when you end up doing 10 miles a day and it takes you 12 hours. And just kind of to be expectant of that, because I mean, I do quite a lot of mountain walking, and that involves walking off path. But what I find where you're going on the Cape Wrath Trail is that a lot of your off path walking tends to be through bogs, and generally up to Bealachs, and it's harder. I find it much harder going than if you're walking off path when you're, say, above 700 meters or something like that. Plus the fact you've generally got a big pack on. Don't underestimate how tiring that part is and how slow it is. And generally most days there will be sections of 2 or 3 hours where there is no path. And it's quite funny, I think I said before where I was by Oikel Bridge, where you come across a day where it's path or track all day, and it genuinely feels like a day off. You know, you're walking along and it feels like this is easy, it's a rest day. So I would have to say that the Cape Wrath Trail, having done it, I think I cannot imagine doing anything better in Britain at all. It's a fantastic thing to do, and if you've got the skills and the experience to do it, I would thoroughly recommend it. Hey, thought I'd just try and explain the main reason why that I took the longer route on the Cape Wrath Trail that goes along the back of Ben A and up to the big Corrie Verkerke. When I was a kid, we came up here on holiday, and we walked up to the quarry, and we got a photo. I think it must have been about 14 or 15. A photo of me and my dad sitting in the quarry with the big cliffs behind us. And I know that that photo is really important to my mum and dad. And so a while back I thought it would be absolutely brilliant if I could manage to recreate that photo 40 years later from the same place. And so that is the main reason why I came through that area of Torridon. Apart from the fact it's superb and it's brilliant, there's this feeling of wanting to create that photo. And it was actually quite an emotional experience, so just thought I'd let you know.